Like I've had this spot right here, which was like, it was like a really bad, like under the skin pimple,
Oh yeah. Oh
and then
yeah.
it went away, but it like left this mark. And so like, is that just permanent now? I don't know, but I'll use the concealer pen if I'm doing like a YouTube video and I just don't want that to show.
Today we have Brock McGoff coming in from The Modest Man. We're here to talk skincare. Great to have you on, Brock.
Good to be here.
What I like to talk about is when we understand where you come from in skincare, when it became important to you, and then what is your routine today. So I don't know if we ever talked about, did you deal with acne as a teenager? Like what were your dreaded teenage years like from a skincare perspective?
Yeah, I definitely had teenage acne, continued into my adult years, by the way. That was a surprise no one tells you. It's not going to go away when you're in your 20s and 30s for some people.
I still wake up with pimples. What the hell is that about? I thought this was going to be over.
It's so weird. Yeah, it's so annoying because, yeah, you think, and I've heard it's a slightly different cause. I mean, acne is mysterious. Like we really don't know a whole lot about it. There's a lot of theories, a lot of anecdotes, but it looks like it's maybe different for different people and different in your teenage versus adult years. But I started to get it when I was a teenager, and it was never bad enough that I like went on Accutane, I almost wish it was, because I had friends that went on Accutane and it kind of just solved the problem like for good. Mine was like mild to moderate. And so it was a constant annoyance. And I've, once I got into like high school and started to sort of care about how I looked, I would just go to the grocery store and get whatever acne products there was, which I didn't really understand how it worked at the time, but it was all either salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide worked better for me, but it stains your sheets and clothes and everything. Salicylic acid didn't work as well for me. So that's pretty much what I did for all my teenage years, college. And it was, no matter what products I was using or what my routine was, I had unpredictable, mild to moderate acne, which is really frustrating because it's like you could look great for a week and then you could wake up with a really bad pimple. And it's almost worse when you just have that one because it like jumps out, and it could last for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. And that was kind of my teenage and young adult years.
Were you uncomfortable going to the store to get product?
I mean, it wasn't something that anybody talked about. Like you didn't talk about it with your guy friends. Like, I could talk to my mom, like, I could say, can I get something, or can you pick something up? But even like, I don't think like my dad or my parents really mentioned it too much. I had a sister who had acne too, and she would try everything. So sometimes I would just take whatever was in her drawer and just try it. Like she had like remember those like systems back in the day?
Oh yeah, Proactive was one.
Proactive, yeah, she had Proactive. But again, I didn't know, it was all about branding and marketing, and I didn't know that it was all the same ingredients in these products. And so that's what it took me forever to realize, because no one tells you that like, it's really not about whether it's Proactive or Clearasil or Clean and Clear or whatever. It's about what is the active ingredient and what percentage is it, I remember even going to the doctor in my 20s and just for a checkup, and my doctor said like, like anything else you want to talk about? And I kind of made a joke like, well, skin could be clearer. And he's like, oh, and he just wrote me a prescription for like prescription strength benzoyl peroxide or something. I was like, oh, I could have done this years ago, but no one asked.
Yeah, very true. I remember asking my doctor about my under eye bags. I was like, I sleep, like how do I get rid of those? And I remember having a conversation there, and it was weird for me. It's like you said, you had to joke about it because it kind of takes the edge off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super weird. And none of my guy friends ever talked about it. In fact, I remember in college, it was like, it was cool to spend a short amount of time grooming. We even had like these like challenges where we'd like put a really long song on, like Stairway to Heaven or something, and get a beer and like see who could like drink their beer, take a shower and shave all before the song ended. And so like, it wasn't like, you weren't that guy in the bathroom, like taking your time and like using a mask, and like, that was not cool, and this was like 2010, 2007. So it wasn't that long ago. And it definitely wasn't cool to care about your grooming, I guess.
Yeah. Well, your skin's clear now. Like what was the big change for you?
So yeah, acne was always just random, frustrating, and very unpredictable for me. I'd say 80% of the time I was happy with my skin. 20% of the time I was very unhappy with it. And it was not really in between. It was like either I had a noticeable pimple or I didn't. And then I discovered adapalene gel. Differin would be the most common brand. And I think that for a long time, adapalene was prescription only. And then now they're allowed to put a certain amount, maybe 0.1% or 0.1% in over the counter. And for some reason, that just worked for me. It was the first product, even unlike benzoyl peroxide, which is more of like a reaction. It's not preventative. This was the first preventative product that really changed the way my skin looked and made my skin clear and like consistently clear. And I just never knew about it until I was like late 20s, I think. I found that, and I've been using that ever since. Some form of adapalene or topical retinoid, and yeah, it was a game changer.
And now for you, I mean, you're in your 30s. Are you trying to proactively take things against like wrinkles and fine lines and that sort of thing? Like now, what is your skincare routine really like?
I've tried a bunch of different things. I mean, as you know, me and you have similar jobs where we like review a lot of products and stuff. So I've tried a lot of different things, but I kind of go back to like the same basic skincare routine. So I use SPF moisturizer daily in the morning. And then I wash my face in the shower. But like in the morning, if I'm not taking a shower, like say I'm gonna work out later, so I'm not showering in the morning, I don't like use a cleanser on my face. Like I'll just splash my face, dry it off, and use the moisturizer. Honestly, I haven't really found a cleanser that I've noticed a difference if I use it or don't. I think it's nice to have a cleanser, especially like after a workout, or if I've used sunscreen on my face, it's nice to have something beyond water to kind of get that dirt off your face. But I haven't found that using a cleanser with salicylic acid, for example, really does anything to my skin. So I say I wash my face once a day in the shower. I use SPF moisturizer every morning. And then I use adapalene gel probably once every 3 days at this point. Or if I notice that I'm getting some breakouts, like I'll use it more. And then I've tried a bunch of different eye creams, tightening serums, all that stuff, but I don't know. I just haven't really found anything that has like a really noticeable impact on like my under eye area, for example. Like there's a lot of companies that are trying to systematize skincare, which I think does make sense because that's what guys need. But I also find that like if I get like a month's supply of night cream, for example, I could spread that out over the course of 2 or 3 months. Like I'll never finish one bottle in a month because I just kind of use it as needed, I guess, versus every night.
Yeah, I found that's kind of the hidden like secret of our concealer is that the concealer can last forever because you use a little bit and it just lasts for a very long time, which is a good thing.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I've had the same. That is my first one, I think. I've had this one for a while now because I just use it as needed. So like, and that's the other thing is if I'm like, I don't use any sort of like makeup regularly, but if I'm doing a video and like I do have something, like I've had this spot right here, which was like, it was like a really bad like under the skin pimple, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And then it went away, but it like left this mark. And so like, is that just permanent now? I don't know. But I'll use the concealer pen if I'm doing like a YouTube video and I just don't want that to show. So again, it's like a lot of like as needed kind of more intuitive based skincare versus like a strict regimen. Yeah.
But cleanser, SPF moisturizer, it's like those are the basics you got to have. And it's, you know, the daily cleansing. What I try to talk about a lot is the guys that use like a shampoo or a bar soap. That's the kind of stuff that dries out your face. You want something that is going to wash your face and takes into account the skin of your face versus drying it out and then causing you more problems. I know, like I used to use whatever Axe shampoo on my face all the time. No wonder I was always broken out and dried, cracked skin.
Totally.
You know, in retrospect, that's if I could call myself up, I'd be like, quit using Axe shampoo on your face, you dummy, like in my teenage years.
Yeah, it just wrecks you. I mean, it's the same thing with, you know, shampoo. And that's, again, we're kind of misled by marketing because, you know, you have to think of it like, if you look at your shampoo shelf at CVS or something, there's different strengths. It's like high octane, low octane. There's like all natural stuff. There's stuff that'll really strip your hair and like really get rid of any buildup on your scalp. And it doesn't make sense to use a high strength shampoo every day or twice a day. Like you're just blitzing your scalp all the time. So like I'll usually have like in my shower, like a tea tree oil, like a really like high octane, like shampoo that if your hair is super oily and maybe you're getting some dandruff, you can use that and it'll like almost like reset your hair. But then most days I have like a very gentle, almost more of like a conditioner, and because that's just what I need. So, you know, don't assume just because it's shampoo, it's all the same. Like most shampoo, especially the stuff that's marketed to guys, is like very, very harsh, and you don't need to use it maybe more than once or twice a week.
That's one of the conversations we're trying to open up here. Glad you came on, talk about your skin. Your skin does look great. Everybody can see your YouTube videos where your handsome face is on there all the time.
Look at my old ones too, because it's come a long way.
Yeah, that's true. If you look back at some of your original ones, you can definitely see the difference. Same thing with me. Like I look back at some of my videos from 2015 and 2016, and you can just like, I'm always broken out in some way. And now that I'm like, I use, ever since we've really locked formulation on our gel cleanser, like my skin has genuinely been better. And my wife is always the one that's like, you know, would you change something in your skin? Like it's looking really good. So that's how I know something is working for me. So that's
Totally
great. So everybody got to check out The Modest Man. You got videos on style for the guy 5'6" and under, right? Is it 5'5" or 5'6"?
I say like anything below average. So, you know, 5'7", 5'8" and under.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The short guy, The Modest Man. But I mean, all of your style principles are very applicable across the board. So we'll have links down to his channel and everything else. Thanks for coming on, Brock, and talking about your skin.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.